All right, we are green brothers and sisters. We are coming live on something that I just simply got to scream from the mountaintops. This is a terrible idea. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. What would you do if I told you that they were actually floating memos at the DOJ asking for plans of merging the ATF and the DEA into one super agency, of which all the responsibilities of the ATF would just go into that super agency? Yeah, the funding would increase, the agency head count would increase. Guys, you need to do a few things on this, incredibly important because it hasn't happened. They're just floating it. You need to follow me on X. You need to tag at Pam Bondi, AG Pam Bondi, at Cash Patel. You need to tell them how bad of an idea this is. And you can link this video. We're going to get into it right now, but before we do that, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. We are charting a course toward freedom, backhanding tyranny wherever we can find it, and occasionally sounding the alarm bell on something as not good as this. Everything will be linked in the description. Let's get in here, guys. Make sure you send this out because this one, I swear to you guys, this administration following them, I'm going to say it out of turn. I don't care. Following them with this is kind of like a high school girlfriend relationship where you don't know if she's going to be pissed, be really, really happy, you're going to be in a fight, or you can figure the rest of that part out. But 1 second, it's suppressors are bad. 3 days later, suppressors are good. 5 seconds later, after that, it's we're going to give away to get rights back for felons. 10 seconds after that, it's the DOJ is going to move forward with this case around XYZ. And now they're floating the idea of merging the ATF and the DEA. I swear to you guys, we need some consistency. Get a hold of the wheel. Okay, I said it. You guys can follow me on X. Make sure you are active on this and send this out. The video, tag Pam Bondi, tag Cash Patel. Do all the things you need to do on X because they have to be aware of how bad of an idea this is. All right, let's get into actually what we're here for. So, this is from Gun Owners of America earlier today. I'm going to show you what they said. I'm going to show you all the reports, the media, everything. Breaking. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche has ordered DOJ to come up with a plan to potentially merge the ATF and the DEA. This would be a disaster for gun owners and the Second Amendment, and I'm going to show you why it will be in a second. Because if this were to happen, you lose the idea to focus on the ATF and control their budget and control their headcount, control their activities, and it merges into a super agency. Guys, this is a bad idea. Okay, let's keep going though. I've got that article I'm going to show you in a second. Here's what they say at GOA of why it's bad, because some people said, tell me why this is bad. It's not just some kind of clickbait thing. Ultimately, ATF headquarters must be abolished. Combining ATF with other federal law enforcement agencies will only supercharge its unconstitutional attacks on the right to keep and bear arms. I share that perspective. Because, again, I'm about to show you the agent count. I'm about to show you the funding, the budgetary allocations. I'm about to show you everything for the DEA and the ATF. And imagine this in a big, bad super agency. Yeah. Watch. All right. Let's jump right into the actual article from Reuters so you guys know I'm not just making this up whole cloth. Exclusive. U.S. Justice Department considers merging DEA, ATF, and major shakeup, the memo shows. Now, this is a memo from the person right underneath Pam Bondi. This is the Attorney General, the Deputy Attorney General, okay? As you can see, the timestamp right here, March 27th, about noon Central Time. So 2 hours ago. I was waiting for this to percolate before I went live with it. Now, March 27th, Reuters. The U.S. Justice Department is considering merging the lead agencies enforcing drug and gun laws in a major shakeup as it follows President Donald Trump's instructions to sharply streamline the government, according to a memo seen by Reuters. Now, I looked everywhere. I can't find that memo, but we've got multiple sources. The Reuters and AP are both reporting on it. I'm going to show you both of them. But merging the DEA and the ATF under one big blanket agency, that's not going to bode well for the accountability to the ATF specifically, because then it's going to be ATF DEA or DEA ATF. I have no idea what they're going to do with it. The drugs and guns, I got nothing. But what we're talking about right now is creating a potential super agency, but without neutering any of the responsibilities of the ATF. All the things that they want to do would go directly into a super agency, giving them kind of an innocuous anonymity underneath a different agency. This is not a good idea. I'm going to show you the money in a second. In addition to merging the Drug Enforcement Agency and Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, department leaders are considering eliminating field offices that handle antitrust, environmental, and civil cases, according to a March 25 memo. Again, haven't seen it. So, what it looks like they're talking about is an extreme amount of streamlining the government. The reason this is a bad idea, not the streamlining. I'm here for streamlining, efficiency. I'm here for all that stuff. I am not here for putting the chief agency that is basically in charge of going after, well, hold on a second, who has shown a propensity to go after gun rights in the past 20, 30 years, the ATF, underneath an innocuous new super agency, which combines funding for both and giving them even more headcount and even more money. Okay, let's keep going. In addition to merging the Drug Enforcement Agency and Bureau of ATF, department leaders are considering, I already told you that, sorry, read it twice, I got distracted. A potential merger of the ATF and DEA into a single agency would, quote, achieve efficiencies in resources, case deconfliction, and regulatory efforts, the memo says. I don't know if it would actually decrease regulatory efforts. I think it would increase regulatory efforts only under one name. So instead of having two different letterheads, you have one letterhead. I'm not 100% sure it's going to reduce anything. Okay, let's just keep going though. This is the whole point. This is why you need to tag Pam Bondi. Oops, didn't mean to do that. All right. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, that is the guy directly under Pam Bondi, in the memo ordered department officials to provide feedback to the proposed restructuring by April 2. We are going to be following this like a bloodhound because this is not a good thing. I'm trying to build this case of why it's not a good thing. Let me just show you a few things, then I'll go to this article from the AP. All right, so the DEA, I just did a simple Google search of DEA funding 2024. $3.28 billion in 2024. So remember that number, $3.28 billion. The DEA headcount is 4,600 special agents. Okay, so 4,600 with 3.2 billion. Yeah, 3.3 billion. Let's call it that. Now let's look at the ATF. Okay, the ATF right here. Boop. The ATF had 5,281 employees, including 2,500 special agents. Again, so 2,500 agents, and the DEA has 4,600. So that's doubling the size. DEA is double the size of the ATF. The enacted budget was approximately $1.6 billion in 2023. That's 1.6. DEA is, is 3.2. Effectively, DEA is double the size of the ATF. So you take the 1.6 billion with the 2,600 agents and you merge it into a DEA super agency, and now you're going into the realm of around 7,000 agents with around $5 billion. You've gone out of the frying pan and into the fire from $1.6 billion of ATF budget to now around about $6 billion under a new super agency. Guys, it does not take a detective to go, I'm a little uncomfy. But now let's go over to the AP. Again, please, if you guys are just now tuning in, send this one out because this is very important. Justice Department eyes combining ATF and DEA as part of a broad restructuring. Again, nothing about taking away the NFA funding, nothing about taking away the taxes, nothing about the Gun Control Act of 68, none of it. This is a really, really, really bad idea. Justice Department leadership is proposing combining the two agencies. Told you, same thing. There's one more thing I want to talk about in here on the ATF right here for the responsibilities. Perhaps the most sweeping part of the Justice Department's plan is a push to merge the DEA and the ATF, which often work together along with the FBI, but are both led by separate directors and are tasked with distinctly different missions. The memo included no details about how the two agencies would be combined or whether some of the agents would be eliminated. Where we're at in this stage is just a memo to say, hey, what if we took those 3 letters and these 3 letters and got a 6th letter? We're in a I don't like where we're at. I honest to God don't like where we're at. We're in the girlfriend's mad at me, I don't know why stage right now. The ATF investigates things like violent crime, gun trafficking, arson, and bombings. It also provides technical expertise tracing guns used in crimes and analyzing intelligence and shooting investigations. The DEA, meanwhile, is in charge of enforcing the nation's laws around drugs. Its agents are focused on combating criminal drug networks and stemming the illicit flow of fentanyl and other street drugs. Right here, this part right here, this is where it gets really uncomfy. Questions have been raised about the future of the ATF after FBI Director Kash Patel, in an unusual arrangement, was tapped to simultaneously serve as acting director of the Gun Law Agency. The ATF has long drawn the ire of conservatives for its role in gun regulation. No, it's not drawn the ire for its role in gun regulation. It's drawn its ire for the abuses of the Second Amendment rights of the population. There is a difference. All right, so now, as we go into this, again, this is where I really get uncomfortable. If you've got an FBI director, Kash Patel, who's also the acting ATF director, there's a mandate from the top of the Trump administration to streamline the government, and then you've got Pam Bondi at the DOJ and her deputies saying that we should float the idea of combining the ATF and the DEA. Now, the part that I really don't like is if you were to follow these breadcrumbs, it would make sense that if your whole plan was to do this the entire time, you wouldn't need to put an active director in that position for the ATF. You could do a temporary one while you work on a restructuring. Kash Patel goes back to the FBI directorship. There you go. We got a director of this, and we got a director of the new super agency. I can't tell you that's what happened. I don't know. No one has told me. But I can tell you it does not look promising. I mean, goodness gracious, guys. If you're just now joining us, this is actually real. They are actually floating memos and floating ideas of how the Justice Department can combine the ATF and the DEA. And if you missed the very middle part of this video, you're going from a basically $1.6 billion budget with 2,600 agents to a $3.28 billion plus 1.6, which puts you right around the $5 billion mark with 7,000 agents. In some big super agency, all the while you have not taken away any type of authority from the ATF at all, and that's how you get to this type of post right here. Ultimately, the ATF must be abolished. Combining ATF with other federal law enforcement agencies will only supercharge its unconstitutional tax on the right to keep and bear arms. I got to be honest, I got to hand it to GOA. That's very well written. This is not something to just be upset about because you need something to be upset about. This is a serious concern. You need to tag AG Bondi. You need to tag FBI Kash Patel. You need to tag all of them on X while you're following me, while you're pushing this out, and send this video everywhere that you know, because people need to be aware, because the time is ticking for April 2nd of when the results of this inquiry are going to be due. And then we get to see what the girlfriend wants at that point in time, too. You know, maybe they'll just open up Bradley's available for everybody and then revoke that one. I have no idea what's going on. It's crazy. But I do hope you guys have one hell of a day. I'll keep you updated on this. I thank you so much for spending your time with me. Send this out to everyone that you know, and I'll see you on the next one. We don't know what's going to happen, but we will be